Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Historyline English podcast. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you are standing in a dark, quiet tent. The air is freezing cold. You can hear the wind blowing outside. Inside the tent, a single candle is burning. By the light of this candle, a man is sitting at a wooden table. He is not a tall man. He is not wearing a golden crown. He is wearing a simple, dirty military coat. He is looking down at a large map of Europe. His finger traces the rivers. His eyes are moving fast. His mind is a burning fire. He is planning to conquer the entire world. This man was not born a king. He was not born rich. But he changed the map of the world forever. Who is this man in the dark tent? This is Napoleon Bonaparte. If you love traveling through time with us, please take a moment right now. Click the subscribe button. Join our listening family. We have so many more incredible stories to share with you. Now, let us step back into the past. Our story begins far away from the cold winds of Europe. The year is 1769. Imagine the warm, blue water of the Mediterranean Sea. The sun is shining brightly. There is a small, rocky island called Corsica. The air smells of salt and pine trees. On this beautiful island, a baby boy is born. His parents name him Napoleon Bonaparte. Corsica is a beautiful place, but it is not rich. It is not famous. It is an island of simple people. They are farmers and fishers. They are proud, tough people. Napoleon's family is not wealthy. They do not live in a palace. His father, Carlo, works as a lawyer. His mother, Letizia, is a very strong woman. She has to be strong. She gives birth to 8 children. Napoleon is her second child. The house is always loud. There are always children running and crying. But Letizia runs her house like a general. She is strict. She teaches her children a hard truth. She tells them that life is a difficult fight. She teaches them to be tough. Young Napoleon is different from his brothers and sisters. He does not like noisy games. He is a very serious little boy. He likes quiet spaces. He likes to sit in corners. And most of all, he likes to read. He opens heavy books about ancient history. He reads about great Roman leaders. He reads about huge battles. While other children play with wooden toys, Napoleon plays with history in his mind. Time passes. The young boy grows. When Napoleon is only 9 years old, his father makes a big choice. He puts his small son on a boat. The boat sails away from the sunny island. It sails toward the giant country of France. Napoleon is going to a military school. He is going to learn to be a soldier. Imagine how that 9-year-old boy feels. He is standing on a huge, dark ship. He watches his beautiful island disappear. He arrives in France. Everything is cold. The buildings are huge and gray. The streets are busy and loud. At the military school, Napoleon is completely alone. He is an outsider. He is a stranger. The other boys are from rich French families. They wear nice clothes. They speak perfect French. Napoleon wears simple clothes. And he speaks French with a very heavy island accent. He sounds strange to them. Children can be very cruel. The rich boys point at him. They laugh loudly. They call him bad names. They tell him he is just a poor islander. They say he will never be a real Frenchman. How do you feel when people laugh at you? It hurts. It makes your chest feel tight. It makes you want to cry. Napoleon feels this pain. He feels a deep, burning anger. But he does not cry in front of them. He does not run away. He uses his anger like a tool. He builds a wall around his heart. He stops trying to make friends. Instead, he goes to the library. He studies for hours and hours. He reads every book he can find. He becomes brilliant at mathematics. He learns every river and mountain in geography class. He masters history. He realizes something very important. He is smarter than the rich boys. He works harder than them. Knowledge becomes his shield. Knowledge becomes his weapon. At the age of 16, he finally graduates. He leaves the military school in Paris. He puts on a green and white uniform. He is an officer now. He is a real soldier. But he is stepping into a world that is about to explode. The time is the late 1780s. France is a ticking bomb. The country is deeply unfair. The rich nobles live in giant palaces. They drink wine and eat sweet cakes. They wear silk clothes. But the common people are starving. The poor farmers have no bread. The workers have no money. The winter is freezing, and they have no wood for fire. The poor people are tired of crying. They become angry. Very, very angry. In 1789, the bomb explodes. The French Revolution begins. The streets of Paris fill with fire. The angry crowds shout for freedom. They shout for equality. They break into prisons. They destroy castles. The rich nobles run away in terror. The king is captured. Blood flows on the stone streets. The old world is completely destroyed. Chaos is everywhere. For many people, chaos is terrifying. But for a smart young soldier, chaos is an open door. Napoleon watches the revolution. He stays calm. He thinks quickly. In the middle of war and panic, he makes fast, brilliant choices. He fights in dangerous battles. Bullets fly past his head, but he does not blink. He aims the big cannons. He commands his soldiers with a loud, clear voice. His men see his bravery. They see his clever mind. They start to trust him. They start to follow him anywhere. The government notices this incredible young man. They promote him. He rises faster than anyone in history. At the age of 24, he becomes a general. Let that sink in. A general at 24 years old. The boy who was mocked for his accent is now giving the orders. But a small taste of power is never enough. Napoleon is starving for greatness. He leads the French army into Italy. He crushes his enemies. He leads his men across the sea to Egypt. He fights near the ancient pyramids. He sends letters back to Paris. He tells the people about his glorious victories. The French people read the newspapers. They cheer in the streets. They love him. France is broken, and they believe Napoleon is the man to fix it. The year is 1799. Napoleon returns to Paris. The government is weak and confused. Napoleon sees his chance. He moves quickly. He uses his soldiers to push the politicians out of the room. It is a fast, dangerous move. But it works perfectly. Napoleon takes total control. He is the new master of France. He works day and night. He sleeps very little. He creates new laws. He builds strong bridges and long, straight roads. He opens schools for children. He brings order to the wild country. Then, 5 years later, he does something truly shocking. It is the year 1804. Imagine the famous Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris. The church is huge and dark. The air smells of sweet incense. Beautiful music fills the giant room. Thousands of important people are standing there. They wear shiny medals and expensive dresses. The Pope, the leader of the church, is holding a heavy golden crown. Normally, the Pope puts the crown on the king's head. But Napoleon is not a normal king. He steps forward. He reaches out his hands. He takes the heavy crown from the Pope. He turns around. He looks at the silent crowd. And he places the crown on his own head. He does not ask for power. He takes it. He is now Napoleon I, Emperor of France. He is the most powerful man in Europe. His armies march across the continent. He changes borders. He defeats kings. But inside his heart, the fire is still burning. It is never satisfied. He always wants more land. He always wants more glory. This hunger leads him to a terrible disaster. The year is 1812. Napoleon looks toward the east. He looks at the massive, wild country of Russia. He decides to conquer it. He calls soldiers from all over his empire. He builds the biggest army Europe has ever seen. Over 600,000 men. A massive river of soldiers, horses, and cannons. They march toward the Russian border. They expect a quick, glorious victory. But the Russians are clever. They know they cannot win a normal battle. So, they do not fight. They slowly walk backwards. They pull the French army deep into the huge country. As the Russians walk back, they do something terrible. They burn their own country. They set fire to their wooden houses. They burn the yellow wheat in the fields. They poison the drinking wells. They leave absolutely nothing for Napoleon's army. Napoleon's soldiers march through black, smoking fields. The horses have no green grass to eat. The men have no bread. They finally reach the great city of Moscow. But the city is completely empty. And soon, the city catches fire, too. Then, the real enemy arrives. The Russian winter. The sky turns white. The temperature drops below freezing. The wind cuts through their uniforms like a sharp knife. Napoleon's men are not prepared. They only have summer clothes. They begin to freeze to death. Napoleon has no choice. He must turn around. The march back to France is a nightmare. It is a story of pure horror. Men fall into the deep snow and never wake up. They eat their own dead horses to survive. Out of the great army of 600,000 men, less than half return home alive. The giant empire is suddenly weak. The fire is dying. The other kings of Europe see this weakness. England, Prussia, Austria, and Russia. They all hate Napoleon. Now, they smell blood. They join their armies together. They attack France from all sides. Napoleon fights like a cornered lion. He is still a brilliant general. But his army is too small. He is too tired. In 1814, the enemy soldiers march down the streets of Paris. Napoleon is forced to give up his crown. He loses everything. His enemies send him far away. They put him on a boat. They exile him to a small island in the Mediterranean Sea. The island is called Elba. It is very close to his birth island of Corsica. He is a prisoner on a beautiful rock. For 10 months, he watches the sea. He walks up and down the beaches. But he is deeply bored. He is a man of action. He cannot sit still. One dark night, he sneaks onto a small ship. He escapes from Elba. He sails back to France. He steps onto the beach. The French king is terrified. The king sends an army to arrest Napoleon. The soldiers stand on the road. They aim their heavy guns at him. Napoleon walks toward them alone. He opens his grey coat. He looks into their eyes. He says, "If any of you wants to kill your emperor, here I am." The soldiers lower their guns. Tears fall down their faces. They shout, "Long live the emperor!" They run to him. They join him. Napoleon marches back to Paris without firing a single bullet. It is a miracle. He is the emperor again. But this dream only lasts for 100 days. The enemies of France gather one last time. June 1815. A dark, muddy field in Belgium. A place called Waterloo. The English General Wellington is waiting on a hill. It has been raining all night. The mud is deep and thick. The cannons thunder. The smoke is heavy. Men shout and die in the mud. Napoleon watches the battle. He tries everything. But the enemy is too strong. His army breaks. His men run away. Napoleon loses the Battle of Waterloo. This is the final end. This time, the English make sure he can never escape. They put him on a ship. They sail for many, many weeks. They take him to a tiny, lonely rock in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean. It is called St. Helena. It is cold. It is wet. It is thousands of miles from everywhere. He spends 6 long years on this foggy rock. He is guarded by hundreds of soldiers. He reads books. He walks in the small garden. He remembers his giant battles. He remembers the sound of the cheering crowds. He remembers the heavy gold crown. But his body is sick. His fire is finally going out. In 1821, at the age of 51, the great Napoleon Bonaparte closes his eyes for the last time. He dies a prisoner, far from home. So, my friends, the loud story of the emperor ends in deep silence. What can we take from this long journey? Napoleon was not a simple man. He was not a perfect hero. His desire for power caused terrible wars. Thousands of innocent people suffered because he wanted to be great. History is often written in blood, and his story is no different. But let us look past the wars for a moment. Look at the boy. The lonely boy from the small island. He spoke with the wrong accent. He wore the wrong clothes. People laughed at him. They told him he was nothing. They told him he did not belong. He could have cried. He could have gone home. He could have believed them. But he refused. He used his mind. He read books. He studied hard. He believed that his own effort could change his destiny. And he was right. You are listening to this story right now. You are studying English. It is not an easy journey. Sometimes the words are confusing. Sometimes the grammar feels like a giant wall. Maybe you feel foolish when you make a mistake. Maybe you worry about your accent when you speak. Maybe you feel like an outsider in a new language. Remember the boy in the library. Do not listen to the voice that says you cannot do it. Every time you listen to a podcast, you are winning a small battle. Every new word you learn is a step forward. You are building something powerful inside your mind. No one can ever take your knowledge away from you. Keep fighting. Keep studying. Your own empire of learning is waiting. Thank you so much for spending your time with the Historyline English podcast. Did you enjoy this journey to the past? Please click the like button. It really helps us grow. I have a question for you today. Leave a comment below and tell me, if you could visit one historical city in the world, where would you go? Try to write your answer in English. And please, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a story. Take care of yourselves, my friends. Until next time, keep listening, and keep learning. Goodbye.